Hi guys, Lee here from Trading College with your Monday hot list look at the markets. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing this every single Monday. And by the way, I hope you had a great holiday. Hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year to everybody. I've got my gym gear on. I've eaten and drunk so much over this Christmas period. I am going to go for a run later. Okay, before that, let's take a little look at these markets. What's setting up in these markets? That's what we do every Monday. Take a little look at the bigger picture, some big blue whale trades that are setting up. Where are they? What are we looking at? Now, if we look at the pound, the euro versus the US dollar to start with, it's been a cracking trade. It's been, we had years of downtrend, and then we've got this nice 1, 2, 3, 4 big weekly 5. So this is a wave 5 on the weekly time frame, and it's been a very, very nice move higher. Now, if I take a look at the Pro Trading System watch list here, and this keeps a running track of all the trades that are being signaled on a Pro Trading System, and I want you to take a look at this column here. This is the US dollar column. Now, we've had short trend signals for many, many weeks now. I mean, the longest has been the dollar yen. It's been short. It's making 549 pips. 21 weeks that's been red and down. Dollar CAD, 6 weeks. So, they're very mature, these dollar CAD trends. But we don't want to fight the trend, okay? But I do think we're coming to maybe a time where the dollar does create or provide us with a bit of a bounce, and then the euro against the dollar and the pound against the dollar, we might see a week or so of down price action. All right, but at the moment it's really strong, it's still bullish, but we've come to the sort of end of this first phase, I think, in the euro dollar. For me, if you're not long the euro dollar, I don't want to buy it here. Our buy signal was here. I don't want to be buying it here, guys. We've got 124, which is a big psychological number right above these highs, okay, not far away. If you go to the pound versus the US dollar, we've hit target, Pro Trading System 137.08, and that's brought in, we're talking a 615 pip profit, which is a very nice move for doing very little here on the system. So once again, once it comes into these targets on the PTS, often we see a little bit of a pullback. Now, what I would be saying to our students here would be, you've got to bank some of this. So go into your account. If you're long, bank some of the profits at 137. What's it trading at now? 136.98. It's hit 137.08 already. So bank some of these profits already. This is not a new trade. For day traders, fine, you could be day trading this long still, but it's not a new swing trade or a new blue whale trade, which means we're waiting for it to go on a big monster move. Just like the monthly, if you look at the monthly here on the PTS, we had a buy signal back in July 2020, and it's continuing to push higher very nicely. A big long-term target for the pound against the dollar would be 142.63, and that comes right in to the 2018 high here. All right, so, I'm not saying it's going to get there because we're going to have pullbacks and retracements. And I think we could get a pullback or retracement as we're into this 137.08. Over the last few weeks, we've spoken about Aussie CAD, Aussie Swissy being the strong market, the new strong market. And it's been very much like that, guys. Okay, we've been up, we've got some, Aussie dollar's been really strong. The Aussie CAD here, the buy signal continues to drive high. Next target is 99.49. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to get there, and I'm a little bit concerned about it as well because we've got a bit of a 2 wave on the yellow lines here, so we may get a bit of a pullback. But it's still strong, I think. A wide enough stop will keep you in these positions. And Aussie Swissy just grinding slowly higher here. 69.21 is a big target, and that comes in with the November high as well. All right, so some nice moves. Aussie dollar has been an absolute star for these several weeks. We had the buy signal here, stop just underneath these lows, and then we're picking off 73.31, and it's got 80.33. I think 80.000 here on our charts is pretty much a gimme. Let's have a little look though on the Aussie dollar. If we look at the monthly chart, look, we've got a 200 period moving average very close by, sitting at around this 78.35 area. So be careful, okay? So that will act as a bit of resistance. But Aussie, I think very strong, continues to push higher, and I think it will continue to push higher as we go. Now, we've got to look at the German DAX because we're at crucial areas here. Let's go to the weekly chart of the German DAX. I mean, what an incredible move it's been from its COVID move back in March. We've just gone V pivot. This is a V pivot price action. You know, come all the way down and go pretty much all the way back up. We didn't actually get the V pivot because we had that pullback there. V pivots are one of the hardest patterns to trade, guys, because it literally just goes all the way down and then V pivot all the way back up. Markets tend to go in waves. Well, this doesn't, this pattern. It goes like a V, and it's awful if you don't know what you're doing here. Now, we've got white on the pro trading system. Now, over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, including this week, we've had 4 weeks of white. Now, white means it's low volume, no commitment. It doesn't feel like there's no commitment because the market's gone up, but it is warning us that, you know, there's no, you know, it's sloppy and slow price action. But if we take a trend line, if we take these trend lines and use the trend line tool, you can see that we've taken this high back in 2018, COVID high here in early 2020, and now we've projected it here. A trend line has to have 2 reference points. We've got these 2 reference points here. So we're right into this major trend line with a white PTS. So it is vulnerable. It is vulnerable here. And remember, a week's candlestick is 5 days worth of trading. So it's only early Monday here. So I've just got to be really cautious. Do I want to buy the DAX up here? No. Is there any value in it? No. I would have to go down to a smaller time frame to get a buy signal. The weekly chart is not a new buy signal. We had the new buy signal back here, which was in November, and that's pushed up, 800 points since, and thereabouts. All right, so we're back to the COVID sort of high, and it's a warning sign. You've just got to be careful. And if we look at the Dow Jones as well, exactly the same. We've got these huge, great big trend lines going back. On the Dow's one, it's the start of 2018. And so we're right into those ones. And I was looking at a target of 30,686. We've met that early in January. So, everything's bullish down below. There's nothing really bearish. It's green PTS. The only thing really bearish that I would go, well, there might be an opportunity this market will sell off, is the 3 waves and 4 waves down below. If you look at the storyteller here, is actually continuing to make lower highs as the price makes higher highs. Now, these 2 waves and 3 wave divergence plays that we often take, they're not with the stock markets. The market can continue to push higher, like we saw with the bull market run from 2009. We saw that we had divergences left, right, and center, but the stock market continued to push higher. It's just that this one, we just got to be still cautious. It's still long side trades until we get something else. And what is something else? Well, something else is a red PTS below 30,000, and starting to make lower highs. Okay, we want to make lower highs. So a big red PTS, it's a big red signal, several days of green, and then a new red will create a lower high. That will be your simple signal to get short the markets. Okay, but we don't have that just yet. It's still bullish, it's still strong. And if we look at the NASDAQ early this Monday morning, as we start a brand new year in the trading world, the NASDAQ continues to be very, very strong. And it's the weekly that we need to look at with this, because we got these trend lines that are going on here. There's an older trend line that I put in, but we've got a trend line. It's not much of a trend line because it's too close to the current price. But let's take a little look at that previous one that we just did here. I mean, it's just gone straight through already. But the NASDAQ, Fed's still pumping money into this economy, into the markets, and the tech markets are still on fire, doing really, really well. We've got a big 2 wave on the weekly chart. It is and is going parabolic. And we need to look at Bitcoin as well. Here's the monthly chart. What a buy we had back in 2019, continues to drive higher. We've got 13,000 just ahead, and it's been brilliant. I mean, it has gone parabolic, and if you scrunch the chart up, look at that. That is classic. And I think when you are looking at your chart, and we had this with a student just before Christmas, and I saw his charts. I mentioned to him, his charts were like this. His charts were like that, and you can't see anything. You can't really see the big picture. So make sure, I know we're going off topic, but make sure you scale your charts correctly, because having a chart like that, you just really can't see the angles and clearly the histograms and PTS. So just scale your chart nicely, and then I always look back and just take a little look here on look back on my seat and think, wow, look at the NASDAQ as it starts to get away from this 8 period moving average. It's that elastic band is stretching even more. Storyteller is really high, but it continues to go higher, and you don't want to fight the trend until the bend at the end, as they say. All right, so NASDAQ's still strong, but at any time with these 2 waves and 3 waves that are going on down below on these daily charts, we need to wait for sell signals. I would take the sell signal. So it will be a down red, up green, down red to short. All right, so that would be the short signal there. You can take it on the first red if you want to. I would take a small position and then add, get that stop to break even, and then add to the red on the second wave down. Okay, so this is wave 1 down, wave 2 up, and the second wave down, which will be a third wave here, will be the red sell signal that I would look to take. But we don't have that yet, guys, at all. And then looking at crude oil, we've got to look at the cryptos. Crude oil is an interesting one. We've got this candlestick that's closing. It looks like a bit of a shooting star. It's not quite there yet. It's still open. But you could count a nice wave pattern to the upside here. So a nice move. This could be the final 5th wave. We could get up to 50.36. We are certainly, if you look at the bigger picture, you've got to look at the bigger picture. We are certainly into resistance zones here. All right, so we've got resistance right here on crude oil. These are not new trades. I'm not going to go long with these new trades. There's no value up here. I want to wait for a pullback. I don't want to. There's no new signals with the markets I'm showing you just at the moment. All right, we've got to go out to the weekly chart to look at Bitcoin. Our last buy signal was here, okay, just around sub that 11,000. With the IG index pricing that we're seeing here, the overnight or the weekend pricing got to nearly 35,000. Good move. Now, I've been talking about cryptos, long cryptos, and the reason I'm long cryptos is, number one, ProTrade System's given a buy, but if we look at the trend and the structure of this trend, okay, we had the initial move, didn't we, 2017, and then we had the pullback, wave 2 pullback. All right, now we're in a wave 3 of 3 here, and we are extended. Yes, we are pushing higher, but I'm looking for this to continue. Possibly, 50,000 is a big round psychological number. I think we'll definitely get. I think this is an area we're going to aim for 2021 is 50,000. But it's going to have these wild pullbacks and a big drop today. I mean, a few thousand points to say the least. Back below 30,000. I think pullbacks are buying opportunities. Okay, so any pullback, buying opportunities. Manage the risk on these guys, on the cryptos, please. Especially if you're spread betting them, it's going to be so hard if you are spread betting them with the margin requirements. Ethereum might be a little bit cheaper for you, and it is. It's got above 1,000 here. But once again, I think likes of Ethereum didn't break above the 2018 high, so this has got more in it. I think it's got more opportunities. I think pullbacks will be buying opportunities, wild swings on your cryptos, but looking really good indeed. And we've had some cracking moves there in the crypto markets. And let's have a little look at gold as well. So I'll summarize in 1 second, but if we look at gold, on the daily chart to start with, give you a smaller view of this. You know, it's been really choppy for many months, and you know we're still long, we've still got some green coming in now on the gold market. The dollar is selling off really hard. Gold continues to push higher. And looking at gold, it is a decent buy signal as we go higher. Problem is, it's very, and as one student mentioned to me, it's very boring to trade at the moment, gold, and I have to agree with him. It has actually been very boring. Today, with that green PTS buy signal, we may start to liven this gold market up. The reason it's been boring is because we've got white pro-trading system signals. The white tells you just to stay away, as I mentioned earlier. If you get a white PTS, it means there's no volume in this market. People are standing aside. So, you know, gold could go again here. We get a new green signal on the weekly. We're up and up and up and up on gold. You know, above this 2,000, we've got a target of 2,089 on the gold market. Now, if we do see that dollar bounce a little bit, then we might see the gold market also just have a little bit of a pullback. But at the moment, it's still green. It's still long. Okay, so, you know, as we start 2021, we've got pretty much the same that's going on. We've just got to be a little bit cautious, and I imagine when the US opens this afternoon, it's going to be more of the same. I will be getting short the stock market once we see that pattern. When I say the stock market, I mean the DAX, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. I'm not going to trade all of them. But if we see that pattern, as I mentioned to you previously, you know, the down red PTS, up green for a few days, then down red again, then that's my signal to short. And I'm not going to short it until we get that pattern to confirm. All right, so patience is key there. Aussie CADs, Aussie Swissy, more of the upside. Euro against the euro versus the US dollar. You know, into key areas, into, I'm not saying exhausted areas, but we're mature in this move. We need a much bigger pullback to want to get long that market. The pound US dollar hit target, 600 points profit on that one, so that's a nice one. Don't forget the stock markets. If we ever see a stock market sell off, we're going to see the yen pairs roll over. All right, so watching for red PTSs on those yen pairs. Euro yen, Aussie yen. In fact, let's look at the Aussie yen while we're here. But I'm sure that's very strong today. Who knows? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look on the daily. Yeah, I mean, continuation. We've got green PTS. That was the signal back in November. It's still green. It's been green all the way up. Meeting target 79.20. Yeah, just looking at it, I mean, it's still very, very bullish and strong and long. Okay, but nothing else. No other pattern to read on that. Going back to that NASDAQ, sorry for jumping around a little bit here, but the 4-hour chart on the NASDAQ, you know, if you look at it, it's been a very nice move to the upside. Okay, this 2-wave dropped it down for a few candlesticks. Now we've got another 2-wave down on this, which coincides. We have a 3-wave. So this at the moment is now setting up a 3-wave. So that's a high. It's a lower high because the lines come in. Now we've got yellow lines coming in for a lower high. So that means that high was this here. This high was higher, but the storyteller was lower. And then we've got a new high here, but that's actually lower. All right, so it's a 3-wave, we call it. And we might see a bit of a pullback. All right, guys. Hope it helps. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are going to be doing this every single Monday. And at the moment, just this Monday, be cautious because we haven't got a lot of new stuff swing trade-wise setting up. When it all changes, we'll certainly be into these alerts and these signals and this analysis. So very much looking for some really good trades in the likes of the pound New Zealand, pound Aussie dollar, and I think that you know, this dollar yen may have a little kickback at some point, but not quite yet. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel, give us the thumbs up, and I'll speak to you soon on the next Monday update. We've got loads more stuff on the channel, lots of how-to videos, how to start trading, how to draw trend lines, how to do all that stuff for you. Take a look and help yourself to all those videos. Speak to you soon. Take care.